Eikev, we learn about the second portion of Shema. Last week in Parshas Va'eschanan, we read the first portion, V'yahavta es Hashem alekecha v'chol levavcha, and then this week we're reading V'hoya im Shemaya, which is Hashem, the second portion of Shema. So now, if you read the first portion of Shema and the second portion of Shema, generally you'll find a few differences. In the first portion of Shema, it first tells you study Torah, teach it to your children, and then it tells you the mitzvos. V'shinant tam levanecha, you should teach the Torah to your children. V'dibarta bam, you should speak in them. And then it says, ukshar tamleis hayadecha, you should put on tefillin on your arm, and put tefillin between your eyes and mezuzah. So first it tells you learning Torah, teach it to your children, and then it tells you to put it on your arm and put it on your eyes and so on. So first is study Torah, then mitzvahs. In the second portion of Shema, it's just the opposite. If you look at the second portion of Shema, first says that you should tie it, sign on your arm, and it should be a reminder between your eyes. And then it says you should teach, learn Torah, they should speak about it. So that means in the second portion, first is mitzvahs, and then is Torah. In the first portion, first is Torah, and then is mitzvahs. So the question is, what's greater? Is it greater the studying of Torah, or is it greater the action of mitzvah? In the first portion of Shema, it emphasizes that Torah is greater, and mitzvahs is second. In the second portion of Shema, it says mitzvahs first, the mitzvah is greater, and the Torah is second. So the truth is, there's an argument in Talmud. What's Talmud Gadol or Ma'aseh Gadol? Is learning greater or the act of the mitzvah greater? Nimnu v'gamru. The Talmud concludes that learning is greater because learning brings you to action. Not because learning itself is greater, but learning brings you to action. So the question is, what is really greater? Is it the first portion of Shema which learning is greater? Or is it the second portion of Shema which emphasizes that the mitzvah is greater? So he says an interesting concept the Rebbe teaches here, that in order, we know that the ultimate purpose of creation is for the mitzvahs. Why? Because the whole reason Hashem created the world, and the whole reason Hashem created everything was what? Is to do mitzvahs. Because mitzvah, you take a physical object and a physical part of this world, and you elevate it and you make it holy. That's what a mitzvah is all about. You know, what is a mitzvah? A mitzvah is to take a piece of skin of an animal, make it into a mezuzah. So you're taking a material object, you're making it holy. You take money, which is materialism, and you give it to tzedakah. You take a scroll, you write a Torah, you make matzah, candles, and so on. And that's the ultimate of creation. So the ultimate is that you should do the mitzvah. However, if you do the mitzvah but you don't study Torah first, and you don't make Torah your emphasis, then the mitzvah is not going to be complete for two reasons. One is, if you don't study, you don't know what the mitzvah really entails, the details of the mitzvah. And number two, you don't know the power of the mitzvah. Before you study, you think Shabbos it's just Shabbos. It's a day of off. It's the day before Super Bowl Sunday. Once you learn Torah and you comprehend the infinity of Shabbos and how Shabbos is the holiest day of the year and how Shabbos is infinite, then when you have the Torah, then all of a sudden the mitzvah is a higher level mitzvah, because your performance of the mitzvah is on a more deeper and a more refined and a more elevated level, because you understand and comprehend the infinity of the mitzvah. But without learning Torah, even though the mitzvah is the ultimate, the mitzvah is missing a big part. So that's one aspect why Torah is important before you do a mitzvah. Number two is, in order for the mitzvah to be able to refine the world, in order for the mitzvah to be able to elevate the world is a coarse, materialistic world. So in order for us to be able to elevate the world and make the world suitable that when you do a mitzvah, the world becomes a vessel to receive this infinite power from the mitzvah. You need a Torah. The Torah is like a preparation and prepares the world by your studying Torah that makes the world elevated in a way that once you perform the mitzvah, the world will be a vessel to receive the light of the mitzvah. But if you're not going to learn Torah, then the world is not ready and not refined and not elevated to be able to receive the energy that the mitzvah brings to the world, and it becomes an energy that is totally not revealed in this world. That's why in today's times, till Mashiach comes, learning is superior than the mitzvah. However, once Mashiach comes, when the world will be already refined and the world will be elevated, then you don't need the Torah to elevate the world. Then the ultimate will be doing the mitzvah in a physical, actual way. So the first parsha of Shema is speaking about the way it is in our time, that you have to study Torah, because that will bring you to the elevation of the mitzvah. The second portion of Shema, which speaks about the mitzvah, speaking about Mashiach will come, where then the mitzvah will be the ultimate level, because since the world will be already refined from the 2,000 years of exile that we refined the whole world, so now the world is capable and suitable to go straight to the mitzvah and be able to be a vessel to receive the light of the mitzvah. So the first portion of Shema is speaking to us in our time, and the second portion of Shema is speaking to us in the time of the era of the Mashiach era. Hashem should help that we should all learn and ultimately be able to do the mitzvahs, because that's the ultimate purpose of creation, even though learning is the only way we could get to it. But the ultimate is to do the action, and to do the action in a revealed way that it brings God and makes this world a dwelling place for God in a revealed way. Amen.
Amen.